This has really turned into a stunning off-year election here in the city of Minneapolis. First voter turnout exceeding expectations, and then the results. The mayor out, the longtime city council president out, and 2 transgender council candidates in. This city draws 40 million visitors every year. In the past, some experts had warned with these large crowds, the tall hotels, and the huge events that come to Las Vegas that this city was, quote, a soft target. He is missing. People want to know if he could be found. The fire chief did say there is a possibility that someone could still be alive inside the building. The way it collapsed, right. 2 floors collapsed down. There's still the possibility that someone could be alive in a pocket of air down below. But obviously that effort going on right now. I'd probably get myself too choked up to read back the exact language on live TV, but extremely touching, talking about sharing Bill with others, how Sean thought she and Bill had a relationship that would last forever, but that, forever came too quick for her. She just never imagined that relationship ending so suddenly, with so much more of life to live together. Bill with so much more to give to his community, to his family. Leaders at this Islamic Community Center tell me this case has gone unsolved for far too long. It has created so much panic, so much anxiety, so much fear in the community. Tonight, releasing this video in hopes that someone finally will help authorities catch those responsible.
We felt that we were the target, and we felt like this threat was real. And the bomb made it everything, changed the entire game.
The center's executive director hoping sharing this video publicly will help crack the case. Watch closely. It happens quick. There's an initial report of a fire early on a Saturday morning, the first week of August. There's panic, then boom, and even more panic. We now know at least one suspect threw some type of improvised explosive device through the window of the imam's office inside the Dar al-Farouk Center on Park Avenue. Several worshippers were inside praying at the time. Fortunately, no one was injured or killed. Mohammed Omar telling me after more than 2 months, his community needs to know who did this and why.
It blows. You can see the, it shakes the cameras. You can see it, put a lot of cracks into the, cement wall. This is like, it was, thank God nobody got hurt.
Does this center live in fear?
We don't want to say, because we're a community of faith, but we could say that the sense of security, we lost the sense of security.
I just want to show you and Amy the outpouring of support for these shooting victims here in Las Vegas. Look at this memorial of candles and balloons. Let me tell you, we were at the north end of the Strip, the exact opposite end from the Mandalay Hotel and Casino where this shooting unfolded. Yet this love and this support, this outpouring is buoying the spirits of Phil Erik's family. Phil, some good news today, improving at a nearby hospital.
When we got here, he was not in good shape. He's still in intensive care.
Mike Erik tells me his son Phil has a long road ahead, but nearly 48 hours after he was shot, there is reason for optimism.
Still has a bullet in his lung. They're not going to take that out. They're going to leave it in. And lost his spleen and part of his colon.
Phil Erik and his girlfriend Allie were having such a blast at the Weekend Country Music Festival on the Vegas Strip. He posted this on Facebook. Tonight is one of those nights you won't soon forget.
His girlfriend said that they had so much fun the first 2 nights, and everybody was just having fun, and it was such a shock.
Just hours later, Mike would receive the devastating call on Monday morning.
Yeah, he said, Phil's been shot.
The Eriks now believe the 36-year-old Minnesota native was shot once in the torso. Our camera today capturing the horrifying sniper position high atop the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. The gunman firing indiscriminately across the Strip and down onto the festival grounds. Doctors have told the family Phil was lucky that he was wearing a compression-style T-shirt that gave him some extra time when seconds made a difference in the chaos of the mass shooting.
We know we're blessed. The Lord was taking care of him. Some of the folks didn't make it, and so we know we're blessed. Lord must have something in mind for him down the road.
And again, Phil's family remains extremely hopeful. At last check, Phil is being weaned from his medication. He is slowly regaining consciousness. The big thing the family and doctors are watching out for right now infection. That explosion killed 2 people and destroyed a large portion of Minnehaha Academy. BRYAN Duffey was badly injured, but it didn't destroy his spirit. Instead, the 26-year-old custodian and coach found healing through his loving family, his community, and soccer.
I just felt like it was important, not for me, it was for the players.
BRYAN Duffey set a powerful example for his Minnehaha Academy soccer team this season. The assistant coach didn't miss a game, despite injuries that probably should have killed him. It turns out the sport he fell in love with as a young child and played through college was far better than any painkiller.
It was definitely therapy. There would be times where I wouldn't take my meds and I wouldn't feel anything because I was just there, and then instantly as we were going back to the car, I would feel pain again.
There was a few games where we had upset victories, and it came down to we wanted to keep fighting, and because we knew Duffey had to fight every day. Yeah, he's just a big inspiration for us.
BRYAN, who in addition to coaching is also a full-time custodian at the school, still can't recall the specifics of the deadly August 2nd natural gas explosion. And you have absolutely no memory of where you were at the moment or getting any warning or not? You don't remember anything?
No. Well, I was washing windows throughout the summer, so I was probably doing something around there, maybe fixing something.
BRYAN remembers vividly coaching a youth soccer game the night before the blast and then waking up 10 days later in the hospital with his body shattered. His right leg was amputated above the knee. His left leg was severely broken in 3 places, and he was suffering from a traumatic brain injury after being buried in debris. He was heartbroken to learn that 2 colleagues, Secretary Ruth Berg and fellow custodian John Carlson, died.
John was amazing. He was just happy all the time, and of course he had his dilly bars, as everybody probably knows, and he just had positivity all the time, and I just loved being around both of them. I just don't understand why I'm still here, and I don't understand why this happened.
As BRYAN searches for meaning as part of his healing process, he is so grateful for the Minneapolis police officers who saved his life. BRYAN was pinned underneath this concrete cinder block wall with gas still spewing from the leak and flames spreading quickly. But that didn't stop Dean Milner and Greg Kosh.
I mean, you see somebody, laying there and there's rubble all over him. He's trapped. There's fire going there, and you can't leave him lay there. You have to go do something. So there really is no decision, actually.
We heard somebody air that that gas was actually filling into the basement. And I think Greg and I looked right at each other, and at least I won't speak for him, but I'll speak for me. I was thinking that was going to be my last day, because I figured that there would be a secondary explosion, and our concern was to get everybody else out of there. We just knew that he and I weren't leaving until we got BRYAN. All I could think of is, boy, I hope my kids understand why I did this. I hope they understand, because I was ready to go.
Milner and Kosh, along with several other officers, hatched a plan. One began chipping away at the cinder blocks. The other somehow found enough superhuman strength to lift the wall, pulling BRYAN to safety.
You look back at that, and I just don't know how you could ever do that. I've seen that a couple times on this job, but I think God puts you where He wants you, and He gives you the strength to do it.
It doesn't humanly make sense. Like, there's this big old piece of concrete that they had to lift, and only 2 people were able to lift it. That was all they had. And so they had to act fast, and then at the same time they thought they were going to get blown up by gas because there was a fire that was really, really close by. And so they thought they were going to die at the same time as they were saving me.
The pair of officers subsequently visited BRYAN in the hospital, and they eventually took him out to lunch. A friendship forged from heroic bravery and overwhelming appreciation.
And then he looked at us and he said, "Guys, thanks for saving me." And that's kind of really when all this really hit home for me, actually, kind of. Because, to me, I was just doing my job.
As for BRYAN, he doesn't know what the future holds. He's currently rehabbing and hopes to get a prosthetic just as soon as he can put full body weight on his broken left leg. His brain injury is healing too. And while he has seen pictures and videos from the blast, he is scared to jog his memories too much because he doesn't want to relive the nightmare where 2 friends' lives were lost and his was changed forever. Instead, he and his wife are looking forward together. The couple is expecting their first child in January.
a baby boy who will soon learn the incredible physical, mental, and emotional strength of his father.
The only thing you can call it is a miracle.
A soccer coach who just will not be defeated.
I think I'm looking forward to just being able to stand and hold my baby, not in a rocker. I've said that as the first thing to many people that have asked me that question.
It's interesting, Bryan's brain injury has left him unable to taste food or smell it. Doctors aren't sure if and when those senses might ever come back. During our interview, Bryan singled out his wife, telling me remarkably he would go through this all again to experience her love and support at life's low point. He also wanted to thank the community. There are several fundraisers happening to help with his ongoing needs, including an effort to get Bryan a specially adapted car for transportation. We have that information posted for you on our website at fox9.com. Paul Blume, Fox 9.